Y'all know what it is. Another episode of Fourth and Fantasy. And yes, I'm looking over here, I'm looking over there, I'm looking over here because my new camera, is over here and my actual laptop is in front of me. So don't mind if I'm looking back and forth. But I don't even need to say my name because I think y'all know it at this point. I'm Honcho, and this is my guy.
Suriako. Friends and colleagues call me Rocco.
And we are Fourth and Fantasy, your dynasty playbook for winning your game. I just totally butchered that. We're working on it, man. Don't worry, I'm working on that. It's
Chicken. Right on that one.
we're gonna run. I'm gonna get it down. Listen, every time I think of the phrase, it just flips up in my head. But y'all get the point, bro. We're Fourth and Fantasy, episode 45. The NFL draft is over. I don't know how y'all are feeling about your NFL teams, but I think if you can't tell by the jersey I'm wearing, my Dallas Cowboys had an amazing draft. I know our Cowboys fan base is a little pissed that we didn't get a receiver, but
Ooh,
I think we have something cooking up in the background. Just hold on, be patient, baby. We're gonna be all right.
man, that wide receiver room after CD Lamb, that has to be a little concerning. Like, trust, my Saints didn't get anybody of note offensively except for Devin Neal and maybe Marcus Yarns. He was a UDFA.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, we all were talking about punching ourselves in the nuts after our draft started. I'm numb to it at this point, but
I
yeah,
think we did
we got
good.
other shit.
We grabbed like three starters out of our draft. It's gonna be a good year. Hopefully, it's a good year. I'm still waiting for us to see what we do at this wide receiver two position. But other than that, I like the pieces that we were able to pick up. But the main news, and actually how we're going to go out the next few episodes, or just this next time, is we're going to go talk about each position. So there were some controversy around the QBs in this NFL draft. I thought it was quite interesting. And then we'll go on to the running backs, we'll go to the wide receivers, and then we'll end with the tight ends. I think some of these guys actually found some really good landing spots. But nevertheless, Rocco, let's get into these QBs, baby. You know what I'm saying? Now, as we all knew for I think 2-3 months at this very moment, Cam Ward, 101 to the Tennessee Titans. How we feeling about that landing spot? At this point, it was written in stone. How we feeling about Cam Ward, and where do you see coming from him in his year one?
Um, Honestly, um, the problem with Cam Ward is the problem with a lot of rookie quarterbacks. At this point, he's landed in basically the shittiest of the shit landing spots. Um, he's got Calvin Ridley to throw to. They picked up
Elite.
Xavier Restrepo off the street, and
They got
Tyler
Restrepo.
Lockett's
They
dusty
got
ass.
Ayo Manor. They picked up, I believe, Chimere, Chimere Dyke, which I could care less about him. He was the other wide receiver at Florida across from Elijah Badger, which I have no clue how he ended up getting drafted and Elijah Badger went undrafted. Still trying to figure that out. But
Nope, don't like that. Nope, nope,
continue what you're saying about Cam Ward.
nope, don't like that. Don't like don't like anything he's got there. Maybe my Chiggy Stonks could maybe rise from the ashes because he's basically the most athletic guy on the team that he'll be throwing to, and we'll have what is it, his fourth year, so we'll
Mm-hmm.
have some third, fourth year tight end breakout potential there, but he's got a solid running game, solid running game.
Yeah, they
Tony
definitely for him.
Tony Tony Pollard could benefit from a better offense. Um, and I still got love for my guy from Tulane. I think he still can, has some hidden upside if he can stay on the field. Tajay Spears.
Yes, that's it.
But that wide receiver room is fucking woof.
It's
Like, how can you draft a guy number one overall and then just completely avoid getting that man any offensive weapons? I mean, unless they make a trade at some point, it's an uphill climb. But if he can make lemonade out of those lemons, then or chicken salad out of that chicken shit, then he'll be definitely one of the better quarterbacks in the league because he wasn't given much to play with.
if you look at it. So yes, you said he has Calvin Ridley. They just signed Tyler Lockett. If, depending on who you speak with, I wasn't very high on Aaron Manor, but there were a couple, of in his hive that speak highly of him.
He
Then
had
you
one good
have
game.
just off of yeah, man. I don't even know. I don't, but at this point, Treylon Burks is damn near not even on any squad at this
I
point.
wonder. I wonder if Burks could have a resurgence.
Maybe he can. Maybe if he finally probably has his best quarterback as of yet, but it really is going to come down to him. It's going to come down to is he healthy or not, and can
If
he
he
put?
got off, if he got off the bus, he would look like a top receiver.
I'm telling
It's
you,
just when he puts the pads on and gets in front of the camera that he looks like shit. When he's actually not just standing on the sideline being busted up.
I mean, it's at this point looking like Chimere Dyke might end up being the starter in the slot potentially, but
I
we'll
don't know
see.
anything about him.
He's no, I didn't see anything. But speculatively, they saw something and cool for them, but I didn't see no siree. I can't get behind that one. Once again, I'm still shocked. I'm updating my rankings at the moment. He went in the fourth round, so he got fourth round draft capital. So that's something to be noteworthy of. And then you spoke on the tight end.
Oh,
Yep, you spoke on the
let
tight end.
me.
Uh,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off again. Let me just show you something which may be why they drafted him.
he ran a 4.3 something, but I could care less.
His his numbers are pretty impressive across the board.
He's
He's
an
got
athlete.
four
That's
three four, 93rd percentile speed score, catch radius out the building, and he's not got bad agilities. Best comparable to Mike Wallace. So I
yes.
mean, he's not a guy I've heard of, but that could be what they're looking for.
Yes, and I
Stop
said
that
that
share.
when I was doing my right now, changing up my rankings and adjusting them towards their draft capital. But one thing that looking at Chamir, that's the one thing that did jump off. He is an athlete. He did test very well. We know the NFL goes Google Gaga over testing numbers unless you're Isaiah Bond, who gets himself in trouble. Well, I know hopefully you're innocent, my G, but actually just got you undrafted. Other than that, he's an athlete. But literally every analytical stat, every analytical metric out there, Elijah Badger cleared Charmier. And it wasn't even close. He had a better receiving grade. He had a better grade in man. He had a better grade in zone. He had a
Hmm.
better drop grade than Charmier. Still trying to figure out how this man goes ahead. Once again,
And
it's crazy for me. But
And Wolf, He's gonna be 23 when the season starts.
it's baffling to me.
Woof.
So shout out to Cam though. I think he's actually. I still am a fan of Brian Callahan, and I think where he has a vision and he just got his
Hmm.
quarterback to help with that. And I hear they're trying to trade or potentially trading Will Levis to whoever thinks he's a player to come get. But other than that, we'll see. I don't think they automatically go to the playoffs or he turns it around in 1 year. But I don't think they're going to be as poor as we've seen them uh, from like last year. He has a good running game to lean on, and then you have some sort of, depending on how it, you know, of it comes to light throughout training camp or who steps up. We'll see.
The question everybody has is where does he go in Superflex rookie drafts at this point? Because a lot of rookie drafts are kicking off this very morning.
Yes,
I'm in two live ones already.
I'm in one live one, and the other ones are getting ready to kick off, I believe, around 1 o'clock. So
Two
it's a
shares
fun.
of Genti already.
Yo, that boy got that boy Rocco got his first share of Genty. I'm getting
Two.
mine later today. So, oh, you got two
My
already.
third. No, this is my third share because I got a Devi share too.
I might not even end up because I traded away the one on one, but we'll see. Second guy, which was crazy because there was noise that he might end up being the ninth pick to the New Orleans Saints, but did not end up getting picked till the 25th. Jaxson Dart was the second quarterback taken off the board to the New York Giants. I think that's a wonderful landing spot with you. If Russell Wilson comes out the gate and is not looking good, we can see Jaxson Dart in there. And just think of the bombs. And I told y'all, if you go look at our previous messages or sorry, our previous videos, I said that Jaxson Dart is the gunslinger of the QB class. He'll, for good or bad, he's aggressive and he's very confident in his arm. He's going to throw that much. And imagine that shit getting thrown to Malik Neighbors. It's going to be a good connection. Whenever he becomes a starter, I hated that when I saw the Giants trade up and picked him up.
Mm.
Made me sick to my stomach a little bit because I do actually believe in Jaxson Dart and what he's able to do. Do I think he was QB2 in class? No, I do not. I'm still staying on the hill that Shedeur was my QB2, Cam Ward was the QB1, and then Jaxson Dart was my QB3. Nevertheless, the NFL said, "Fuck what you think." But also, we're going to get to Shedeur. I think there was a hidden narrative behind why he slid, but Jaxson Dart to the New York Giants. I think that's a wonderful spot. When or I don't want to say if because it's just about when it's going to happen. When does he become? We'll see. But I think we see what the New England Patriots did with Drake May last year when they had Brissett starting, I believe, half the year, and then May came in and then finished out the rest. I think we can see the same thing for Jaxson Dart. But how do you feel?
I mean, his stats are there. I mean, 29-6 TD to interception ratio, second in the nation to passing yardage, right behind Cam Ward, and second, actually first in passing grade from per PFF. So, all of the stats and the analytics, point towards him. And I mean, any quarterback that can get Russell Wilson off the field is a plus to me. I don't think it will be long before New York fans are clamoring to see their quarterback. I mean, he has an awesome name for a quarterback. I mean, I know New York's gonna have fun with that name of his. He's gonna be throwing darts to everybody. But I think this is a good thing for Malik Neighbors. First and foremost, and I guess the burning question I have is where do these two quarterbacks, where does Jaxson Dart slot in rookie drafts?
I
Did we get an answer on where we slot in Cam Ward?
don't think we did. I think we skipped over that. I believe Cam Ward. You can. Every, if I was needing a quarterback, I would feel comfortable at that 105 at the earliest. See, I'm not taking them 101. I'm not taking them 102. I'm not taking them 103. It's not happening. I feel like the skill positions are very much give more value what you can get out of Cam Ward. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that doesn't make him a baller. Not saying that at all. But I'd rather if you ask me Genty over Cam Ward, I'm saying Genty. If you ask me T Mac over Cam Ward, I'm going T Mac. If you ask me Omarion Hampton over Cam Ward, I'm going to Marion Hampton. So it's those guys will forever get put in ahead of Cam Ward, but I would feel comfortable putting him at that 105 and back. And then with Jaxson Dart, I think you can start the conversations at 112, and that's the earliest I can see 112. I'm not doing anything before that with Jaxson Dart. What do you think, Rocco?
Yeah, I'm just looking at my rankings here.
No.
I think, yeah, I have Ward at 4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
In Superflex, because the quarterback position is just so hard to get your hands on. So I would take him over Hampton right now. But it's close if you have the QB situation taken care of. I'm cool with you taking the hammer running back. But right now I have Genty, Tet, Heisman, and then Cam Ward.
Okay.
My
I'm gonna
take
get
is that if Cam Ward's the 101,
mm-hmm.
and if he hits, which it may take time because he just has nothing right now,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in Tennessee. That's why he's not the consensus 102. But if he hits, he's going to be the second most valuable guy in this whole draft. So, and he's fun. He's going to be a fun guy to have on your team. He's going to have a lot of highlight-worthy plays. You're going to see
He's
him on
jumping that one.
ESPN a lot.
Warren Moon gave his number to him, his retired number at that. He gonna be a Cam Ward. He gonna have that. He gonna get that splat. If you
He
ask me.
got he gonna be fun as fuck to have on your team because
Mhm.
you're gonna see his highlights on X, Twitter all the time. But I usually weight QB and wide receiver pretty heavily in my drafts, in my rookie drafts. So that's why I'm going to 2 wide receivers right before him. I think they have the possibility, the potential to get in that top range of wide receivers.
Yep.
So that's why they're ahead of him. But yeah, I may be outside of consensus, but I'm going with Cam Ward at 4.
And then so far in the draft that we're in currently, that's often going like Rocco and Max. There are co-hosting a team. They went Ashton Genty at the 101, and then Amarion Hampton went off the board at 102. So far, and if I had to guess, T Mac is coming off the board at 103. So we're going to see how that one goes. Now to the next QB. Everyone's QB3 throughout the whole draft process. Rocco, Tyler Suge. Totally fucking kidding. No, he wasn't. Totally fucking kidding. He 100% was not my QB3.
Oh man, this
And
is me punching myself in the balls right now just
what
talking
the
about this.
hell is going on? That fact that I'm blowing it out of proportion. First off, he's 25. He's going. He's 25, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would say, but he's going to turn 26 during the season. Had one of the most ugliest passing clips I've ever seen from a quarterback in my whole times of watching film. Right, ugliest pass. I don't know how you even like. How do you explain taking Tyler Suge over Shedeur Sanders? Somebody tell me that. I need to know the answers. I need the answers actually right now. He went to the New Orleans motherfucking Saints. Rocco, talk to me, baby. I need you to explain what was your thought process behind this, or how do
We
you feel about Tyler Suge as the New Orleans Saints?
I fucking hate it. I mean, the dude was a 7th-year breakout. I mean, I know you said that breakout age don't mean much, but 7th-year breakout. Dude was shit or hurt his first 6 years
Mhm.
in college, and I know he has some. He's a decent athlete. I know one of the best things that people have said about him is he's not afraid to get rid of the ball to get out of a negative play. But 26 years old when the season starts,
Yep.
and he's going to be fighting with Spencer Rattler to be the 23 2025 starter. This is awful.
Who do you think wins that?
If you don't like, huh?
Who do you think wins
What?
that? Who do you think, Rattler or Suge?
Does it fucking matter?
Don't do my
I
boy
mean, like the fucking Saints fucking shit on themselves the whole fucking night. The Saints obviously need weapons. I mean, the Saints went with street free agents and Walmart employees all season last year, and they didn't draft one wide receiver. I mean, we're really counting on, and I love my guy Rashid Shaheed, undrafted Rashid Shaheed, and Chris Olave, but Chris Olave's had many concussions. He may be one more concussions from being out the league. Rashid Shaheed had a knee injury last year, which derailed his whole season. Are we going to count on guys like Bub Memes if something, God forbid, were to happen to those guys? Brandon Cooks was brought in, but Brandon Cooks is old as fuck himself. I don't understand if the league was set on blackballing Shedeur Sanders because he's young, rich, and black. I'm sorry I had to say that, but it needs to be out there in the world because some of the shit I'm reading has a lot of fucking dog whistles in it. Some total bullshit, and like you say that, and we're gonna fucking put Shedeur Sanders in his place. Look at the fucking crazy shit Will Levis was doing before the draft.
Yeah, he
Dude
had a
was eating bananas
yeah.
in a fucking banana wrap and
Go
drinking fucking mayonnaise in his coffee. Even if he wasn't serious, even if he was doing it for the lulz, he's still a deeply unserious person. And they went in the second round with him without anywhere near the level of success that Shedeur Sanders had.
Second one, not the third, not the fourth. Second. They
Second
said,
round.
fuck, hey, they said, fuck Shador or Dart at 9. I'm going to draft me a guard. Then said, came in the second, could have picked up Jalen Milroe. And I maybe,
Jalen Milroe, that was my guy the whole time. If you don't go Sanders, Milroe's there. Milroe is so much untapped potential,
could have
but
went
we're
there.
gonna get fucking Davis Mills.
Could have went there. Could have went with Shador if you really didn't want to make him a first round pick. Could have still went in the second round. And it would have been a hell of a value. But, nah, Tyler Shook. Motherfucking Tyler Shook. 26. My brother, my youngest brother. He been out of college. He's 20. He's 27. He's been out of college for at least 4 years, 5 years at this point. And Tyler Shook just finished college. That's all I got to say.
He,
That's all I got. That's all I got
he,
to say.
re-
That's all I got
he,
to
re-
say.
he reminds me of my guy in Days Confused. He's like what's his name? Fuck. But anyway, he's like 30 and still in high school, and he's like, man, I just keep getting older, but these girls they stay the same sweet age. That's fucking Tyler Shook. He's hitting on fucking college girls, and he's a fucking 26-year-old.
So hear me out. Since he went in the second, to be specific, he went in the second and was the 8th pick in the second round at that. So a very early second pick. Does he slide up your QB rankings? Are you going to be selecting Tyler Shook anywhere in your rookie draft?
I'll let somebody else make that mistake.
Where would
I'm
you
not.
be? Where would someone have to take Tyler Shook? Or now I want to say have to. Where could you see someone taking Tyler Shook? I don't think he beats out Rattler. That's my hot take of before the season even starts. I don't think Tyler Shook beats out, and I would even go a step further. Since they went Tyler Shook, I think they're going. I think they want Spencer Rattler to potentially win this, to beat out Tyler Shook, to where he has more time to come. But at the same time, this motherfucker's 26. So how long by the time he comes up and beats the quarterback, he gonna be damn near 30. Crazy work. Crazy times we actually in. So maybe if he doesn't beat out Rattler, that is a very questionable pick.
I think people are going to start looking at him in maybe the mid to late second. But I wouldn't do that.
So I'm
I
not
would look
touching him.
somebody else.
And with someone that we just touched on, Rocco, the second, or sorry, our fourth quarterback that was taken off the board, and the third round, 28th pick overall, Jalen Milroe to the Seattle Seahawks, which ended up having Sam Howell asked, "Shift the fuck out." I know he was a little hurt, a little salty, a little bent. He got literally traded to the Seahawks from the Commanders because he got replaced. Ended up getting replaced again because he looked like straight caca in the games that they did let him be in, and then got shipped out for the second time in like 3 years. If you were ever a Sam Howell truther, I think it's time to let it go. Maybe it's just me, but I think it's time to let it go. That's all I'm gonna say. But I love this spot for him, Rocco. I
Uh,
think because he doesn't need to come in and be the
so,
starter. He doesn't need to come in and be the guy. He gets to learn. And for you, I know you're gonna say, what the fuck is he learning? But I think he gets to come in and learn how to be a pro. I think that's one thing. If you judge Sam Darnold about anything, you can at least say he's a pro. He's a pro's pro.
no, I actually know some Sam Howell truthers, and they kind of love this move actually
Ah,
because he's going to be in the best offensive environment he's ever been in. He'll get some reps in training camp and preseason, and he'll be under a brain trust that you know puts QBs in positions to win. I mean, look at the Hammer. I mean, Hammer fucking Dick Hammer kind of fucking sucked his whole career, and he fucking won 14 games last year.
mm,
So I think he's going there to rehabilitate his image. He's not going there to take JJ's job. That's just
I
silly talk.
don't think nobody thought
Um,
that.
but
Yeah.
if he can rehabilitate his image, maybe get some reps, maybe uh, maybe he'll get a whole preseason game to kind of show, what he's learned and how much he's grown.
Mm.
And I can see the Vikings either holding him as a long term backup or actually coaching him up. Um, to
Close the
be
book.
a
Oh,
competent player and then trade him out again to a QB needy team. So I think it's a win-win for both sides because the Vikings are bringing in a guy that's not gonna test the starting QB, and like I said, Howell's gonna get a chance to rehabilitate his image. I found that clip that I was struggling with. I don't know if we wanna show it real quick.
yeah, sure. Go
Yeah, just just for the laws. Let's see.
ahead. Lay it on us.
All right, here we go. Tell me if you can hear this.
So you're a freshman, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, man, how's this year's crop of freshman chicks looking?
What, you're gonna end up in jail sometime really soon, I know that. Fact.
No, man.
Yeah.
No, man, I tell you.
Yeah.
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
Yes, they do. Go.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's Tyler Shook right now.
Yeah, that boy. I
He's
don't know.
fucking. He's the old. He's the. He just old. The oldest fucker still in there. He probably going back to take classes because he still got a couple classes he needs to take. That son of a bitch. Man, fuck Tyler Shook. Fuck the Saints for fucking with us our emotions like that, and fuck the man on top, Loomis, who has driven Debro away from his Saints fandom. He's taking applications for new teams as we speak
I did see
on
that on
Twitter.
Twitter. He is done. He has hit his limit of being a Saints fan at this moment until Loomis is the fuck off or out of nowhere in New Orleans. But with Jalen, What do you see? I think. Well, I don't think right now because hmm, let me say this. 'Cause I want to choose my words wisely. With Jalen, I think Seahawks was a great landing spot for him. I no lo-
Fantastic.
I no longer see him going in the early second or mid second unless someone really just wants to have a nice stash for about a year or two. I think that late second is where it's tolerable for me, at least, to where I don't want to. I don't, but I think you can be in that early third and still get him.
I'm a bit of a hot take artist. I mean, we seen what it looks like when Sam Darnold struggles. We seen in the best situation he's
Uh-oh,
ever been in,
hot take coming in.
him, huh?
I said hot take incoming. What you gonna say?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we seen him in the best situation for basically any quarterback, in the league. We saw him totally shit the bed right when that team was going for home field advantage. Um, you know, at the end of the season and also in the playoffs, which is the main reason why Minnesota didn't even attempt to sign him to
Hmm.
anything. And now he's going to Seattle. He's going to play with a bunch of slot receivers and whoever they drafted in this draft, rookies. So, I mean, are we not certain it can't get ugly fast? And in the meantime, what Jalen Milroe can do is he can bring uh, a lightweight Taysom Hill role. When that team gets close in the end zone, you bring him out. Now you got him and KW3, and now defenses have to make business decisions, and your red zone and green zone offense looks a lot better than whatever Sam Darnold could do in there. But if Sam Darnold starts seeing ghost again and starts eating sacks, by the handfuls, we could see Jalen Hurts actually get in there sooner than later because I think
Jalen Milroe.
you you yeah, Jalen Milroe, you can see Jalen Milroe getting there sooner than later because you know I think that offense could look you know presentable when you got a KW3 and Jalen Milroe. Now all of a sudden you got what seems to be to me one of the best rushing teams in the entire league.
I agree. I will say the difference between Jalen and Taysom is that one was I still consider a third round a pretty decent draft capital, whereas Taysom was a undrafted free agent. So I don't know if they want to put too much of him in danger and throw him out there, but I could see them using him in some type of capability of
Uh,
you
uh,
know like a Trey Lance, almost kind of what the Cowboys try to do with Trey Lance sometimes throughout the off season of getting
but
him on design runs from the QB spot.
but Milroe's a much better athlete, and I think it's if they trapped him in the third round, maybe they want to. I mean, in the first round, maybe they want to put bubble wrapping on him until he's ready. But in the third round, I think you can afford to take chances, and Seattle, they're not. They don't seem to me to be a team that's attempting to rebuild. They're going to want to win games, and Milroe being in a role, short yardage, uh, tush push type plays, you know,
Mm-hmm.
keeping drives alive. I think he's going to have a role early. If that team is smart, and even to conspiracy theory it a little bit more, Clint Kubiak was the Saints' offensive coordinator last year, and he had the package for Taysom Hill. The problem is Taysom Hill couldn't stay healthy, for the full 17, but Taysom Hill was heavily involved throughout that whole season. So if anybody knows how to script up some plays for a Jalen Milroe, maybe it's Kubiak.
Yeah, I like that. I like the little nugget. Like I said, coaching does matter. That's one thing that I tell people all the time. Coaching scheme does matter. The creativity of your offensive play caller, or just the person who's just calling your play calls in general on the side, is very much. a high factor into helping out in productivity. So let's get into the nitty gritty, right? Because I won't skip over Dylan Gabriel because he was the next quarterback to come off the board in the NFL draft at that QB5 spot to the Cleveland Browns.
Hmm.
Cool. NCAA all time record in passing yards. I think
Solid backup.
yeah, solid backup. They list his height at 5'11", but I also think that's being very gracious. I think he's more on the 5'10"
Hmm.
mark. But I think he's a pretty good quarterback.
It,
To a backup, he can give you the like, QB2 type role and play in the NFL for a good amount of time.
yeah, if he wasn't 5'8", I think he may have more of a chance to kind of start for somebody. I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but just the size limitations, may pigeonhole him into a career backup type role.
But the quarterback that the Cleveland Browns did take that should have been taken way before the other guys we just mentioned. Shedeur Sanders finally came off the board. It came and it was kind of crazy. Like, all right, he didn't go in the first round, and this is my personal view. He didn't go in the first round. I'm like, all right, shit, crazy, but maybe he has to go into the second round or day two. The second, third round happens, go by, and he still hasn't been selected. I'm like, all right, we starting to get into some weird territory here. Then the fourth round came around, still doesn't get selected. I'm like, ain't no fucking way. I'm sorry. There's no possible way Shedeur Sanders is a fifth round quarterback in my eyes. Goes in the fifth round, pick six. Still think that's crazy, but nevertheless, I think still a great landing spot for Shedeur.
Hmm.
And I honestly believe he can come in and outplay literally everybody on that QB roster at this very moment. I also think the NFL was sending a message to to the Sanders family and to Dion. There was a couple of interviews that Dion did throughout the draft process where he was saying that Shadour's not going to this team, Shadour's not going to that team. I'm not allowing him, or we're not like he's not doing this. I think that rubbed the NFL wrong, and they're like, "Yo, what? We're gonna show you who really runs things around here." And if we're going to honestly say it, I thought there definitely was some type of colluding going on because there's no way in hell Dylan Gabriel is a better quarterback.
Absolutely. I mean, we seen the NFL is very much capable of this. I mean, just look a few years ago when Lamar Jackson wanted a fully guaranteed contract, and you telling me nobody in the whole league would give him a fully guaranteed contract? I mean, the guy was damn near if he would have won this year, which he was my guy.
You should have won
Um,
another. Yeah.
a 2-time MVP, and second in another year.
Mm.
So you telling me that guy ain't worth a fully guaranteed contract? No. Deshaun Watson got that fully guaranteed contract, and the owners talked to each other, colluded,
Mm.
and made sure nobody signed him. And now all those people have shit on their face because fucking Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson, and y'all still have scrubs at quarterback. So
Correct.
the league is. I mean, I don't want to go into some of the other shit where the league colluded, but obviously, this was a message, by the league to Shedeur Sanders. I actually, after it got past the fourth round, I was surprised he even got drafted. To be honest with you,
If he didn't, that would have been definitely signs of collusion. There's no way that you can.
it was collusion when he didn't go in the first two rounds. I mean,
It's
even if you don't think he's a first round pick, he's a second round pick.
100%. There's no way that you're universally across many many experts that done mock drafts, many people. When you're talking about scouts, when you're talking about analysts, had him as the QB2, nowhere less than QB3,
Hmm.
and he drops to the fifth round. Yeah, there's something fishy about that one, but nevertheless, I still think a great landing spot for him. Now, what I think and I will appreciate is that people are going to see that and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to." he might just be you might be able to get Shedeur later than where you could have gotten him before. I think that is the most beautiful part about that for rookie draft. You're going to be able to get Shedeur Sanders in that I think mid to late. Honestly, I would still select them in that mid to late second. I'm a trick. He's my
Uh,
QB2. He's a winner wherever he's
I,
going. He's accurate.
I,
Go ahead.
yeah, I'll tell you this. Just because I'm a value whore, I would take him. I would take him in third because I think a lot of people, probably at least 80% of most of your people in your leagues, think he'll never amount to anything. They saw him slide to the fifth round, so you might be able to get him in the fourth round. So
I don't
I, I
think that
think
much. I
I
don't think
think in the second round I'm still taking. What's that?
I don't
Are
think
you
that.
taking him?
All right,
You take?
He ain't last until the fourth round if I'm in your league. I promise you that.
Well, I'm in a lot of leagues, and you ain't in all of them. So,
And he ass ain't lasting no more
I,
than the fourth round. I'll tell
I,
you that
I, I,
right
I,
now.
I'm a value whore. Like if his ADP ain't at the end of the second, then I ain't going in the second. I'll happily take him in the third. Or I'll miss out. But yeah. I mean, what the NFL did was basically create a great value pocket. I mean, we're talking about a guy that was going, mid to late first round in every mock
Mm,
until this weekend's draft.
Yep.
So, if I could get him in the third round, I'm smashing all day. I mean, you're gonna see weird shit happen in your dynasty drafts. You're gonna see Tyler sucks or Tyler Ruff going before Shedeur Sanders. You're gonna see Dylan Gabriel going before Shedeur Sanders. You may even see like some of those other weirdos go before him, but he's still
Shedeur fucking
he's still he's still at worst my QB3, just because my first two guys are locked into opportunities.
correct.
But I'm taking him anywhere in the mid to late third, and I'm fucking pocketing that value.
I'm listen. If it makes anything past the mid second, I'm grabbing that motherfucker. I'm because that's hella. He's gonna. He to me. If I'm really taking a dart throw, he's one of the better dart throws in coming years. I like. There's he was universally considered the QB2. So, and you're getting him in the third. I think that's great. But we are running low on time, so we won't get too much details about the rest of the quarterbacks that went in. But we'll briefly state them. So, Kyle McCord from Syracuse. I actually love this guy. He went in the sixth round to the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't like the fucking spot, but nevertheless, if Jalen Hurts missed some spots or misses some games, one or two games, and
Jalen Hurts.
I'm not saying he replaces Jalen Hurts. Please don't think that whatsoever. But as a backup, I like him. I think he beats out Tanner McKee for that
He's
backup.
better. He's better than Pickett was last year, and
Yeah.
and and Jalen Hurts plays a violent game, so he's always capable of missing a game or two here or there.
And then we got Will Howard. Will Howard. He went to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the sixth round, ninth pick. That I believe is an underrated spot.
Hmm.
Actually, he would have been considered my QB5 going in. I had Ward, Sanders, Dart, Milroy, and then Will Howard, the Ohio State quarterback. I think it's kind of funny that he's been comped to. His name is literally Mason Rudolph. He's been comped to him many times, and then he goes to the Steelers, who also have Mason Rudolph. Hilarious as fuck. But nevertheless, I think that's another good spot for him. If he doesn't have really much competition to go with, so I still think he could end up. That also points out that fuck Aaron Rodgers. Don't mean you're going to Pittsburgh Steelers and you fuck yourself in the ass because you're being a tough asshole.
Man, people gonna be mad when people taking Will Howard in front of Shedeur Sanders in rookie drafts.
I could see some people doing that. He could end up being a starter this year for the Steelers. I'm being completely honest with you. He could end up as a starter. So we'll see. And then Riley Leonard from Notre Dame went to the Indianapolis Colts in the sixth round. And I saw a tweet They were like, if you were to take Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones and merge them as a quarterback, that would be Riley Leonard, and I kind of laughed a little bit.
Nope, don't
Y'all
like
being
that.
I was like, athletically, y'all being disrespectful, but Riley Leonard is a underrated runner. He's nowhere near fucking Anthony Richardson. He's more near Daniel. I couldn't say he's Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones got some scoops, but I guess Riley Leonard kind of does too. So depends on how you feel about him. I
He's
know
a he's a lunch pail guy. He's a blue collar effort guy. He's the first guy in the gym.
he works
You know
hard.
all those bullshit platitudes. No, nobody cares. He might not even make the team.
We have Graham Mertz. I'm gonna go through them fairly quickly. Graham Mertz went to the Houston Texans from Florida. We got Cam Miller. Keep an eye on this guy from North Dakota State who went to the Las Vegas Raiders. I think he's a guy that could be a very developmental piece for sure. Curtis, I mess up his last name all the time, but Curtis
Rourke.
Wart.
I got a side note.
Yep.
My guy, the best film watcher I know. You and him, right there. He says that Curtis Rourke is his sleeper, is one of his top sleepers he's ever seen at the QB position. Throws the best back shoulder throw that he's ever seen.
Okay.
So look for him to hang around. He's either going to be starting for somebody in a couple years or he's going to be completely out of the league. But he likes what he sees. He said he's the number one sleeper maybe in this entire draft for him.
And that's why it was not going to hurt for them because he went in the seventh round. So it's just a dart throw. If it doesn't work out, if it doesn't work out. If it does, you look like a fucking genius. And then you got Quinn Ewers. He was the last quarterback selected in the NFL 2025 draft. Seventh round, 15th overall to the Miami. Sorry, damn, English is hard. Miami Dolphins. And I've seen someone's like, oh, he might just replace Tua this year. If things go bad, he could replace Tua. What I will say this about Quinn is that if Tua does go down again, at least if because he blamed his performance last year on his oblique injury, if that is healed and that really was the cause for his play, I think they could still manage with Quinn if Tua was to go down, and their offense could somewhat still be manageable. It wouldn't go as downhill as it did last year when Tua went down.
Man, I found this tweet when I was looking at Quinn Ewers, and if you want, we can go out on this. This was fantastic, fan-fucking-tastic. Look at this shit.
Let me know.
Quinn Ewers is killing a new animal every hour he's not drafted, and we're talking about Shedeur Sanders. This son of a bitch.
That boy, he like to hunt. I give you that. He does like to hunt. Like, we once again, there's a lot of things to harp on. We can't talk about.
He's got more head than the red light district.
We can't go talk about Shedeur Sanders, but then leave out Will Levis. We can't talk about Shedeur Sanders, and he's not a quarterback, but Cam Scatterbo, who has been known to be a frat boy in a way. There's been multiple frat boys to come through the NFL, and they never got like Shedeur Sanders did.
There was heavily drafted guys that had sexual assault allegations on them. So, just think about that for a second.
Yeah. So I don't get it, but I think Shedeur, if you ever watch this episode, if you ever get to fourth in fantasy, we're rooting for you over here,
We
man.
fucks with you.
Be legendary. Show the NFL who they thought they were, and outplay what they were trying to do for you. We know you're gonna shine, my boy. But that is our episode for today of Fourth and Fantasy. Next time, catch us talking about the running backs, who also there were some surprising landing spots that we like, and we'll talk about. One of my veterans, aka DeAndre Swift, came out of the NFL draft very kind of safe at the moment. We'll see how everything comes out, but nevertheless, we'll get into that in our next episode. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in, supporting the channel. more things to come. Just because the NFL draft is over doesn't mean we over. We got more content to give you. We got to give you more. We'll be going deeper dives on these prospects and how they can or what their year one will be looking like. I'm Honcho, and this is my guy,
Rocco.
and we are Fourth and Fantasy, your dynasty playbook to game winning drives. Catch you next time, everybody. Hope you have a good rest of this Sunday.
Let's
And we
go.
out.